Hello and welcome to our channel. Thank you for taking some time to listen to this Dhamma. We trust that you might be blessed by these efforts. Today's 10-minute Dhamma is entitled The Present Moment. We're going to use some quotes from a famous tennis player named Roger Federer, a Swiss man who excelled in the last 20 or 30 years and is considered one of the greatest players in the history of tennis. On a personal note, I don't play tennis, I don't play any sport at my age, but I seem to have an appreciation for the strong determination, the patience, the right effort, the commitment that great athletes have to perfecting their sport. And I read short news articles about them from time to time, and they have a mental toughness, a very, very developed mental awareness, and I think we can take inspiration from some of the things that they say. So here's a quote from Roger. He says, "When you're playing a point, it is the most important thing in the world. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next one after that with intensity, clarity, and focus." I'm using this quote as an analogy to watching our breath in meditation, being as mindful as possible when we're not in meditation to what is occurring in the present moment. It's obvious with tennis, once you hit the ball, if it scores a point or does not, you must immediately be prepared for the next moment, allowing yourself to dwell even for a second or two with remorse or regret or frustration, disappointment is distracting and destroys the readiness to be fit to receive the next moment. There's a saying in the Dhamma teachings that says the past is dead and gone and the future not yet born. It says that suffering, its causes, its cessation, and the path towards its end all lie in the present moment. Knowing the present moment, we know the past and the future. The present is the result of the past, and of course, it's the cause of the future. Scientists talk about the ability to split time into very tiny parts. The Buddha called these very, very small moments a mind moment. We are not able, usually under most conditions, to be aware of a mind moment, but we can be aware of the moment that is right in front of us that we're experiencing through the six sense doors, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. Now, if we use the breath as this analogy of playing a point in tennis, if we are truly awake and aware of the breath touching the nostrils as it goes in and as it comes out, we don't have time for doing anything else. But we all know that the mind wanders and starts dwelling on the past or the future. And in that moment, we are no longer aware of the present moment. So it begs the question, why do we sometimes obsess about the past or the future? Why do we cling to the bad memories? Is it possible we enjoy being a victim? We enjoy blaming? We resist and deny that there's any need to stop blaming? We have to begin to examine our motives, why we are so hesitant to let go of the past, even those memories that are good. They are not the present moment. They have influenced and created the present moment, but they no longer exist. And the way we're thinking in the present moment, the emotions we're experiencing in the present moment, are the very seeds that are creating our future. In the past, we planted some seeds that matured, came to fruition as something unpleasant, something painful, something horrific possibly, as well as the good things. When we are living in the past and continue to relive past experiences, we are just planting the same seeds that we planted that created those painful moments from the past. The only possible way of ending this cycle of rebirth, this cycle of reliving the past, which is the cause of it becoming an experience for us as a memory in the future, this cycle of planting the same kinds of resentments, angers, hatreds, etc., that we may have harbored in the past. The only way to stop that is to recognize that the present moment is the perfection of a karmic moment. And it's an opportunity to recognize that if the present moment is not pleasant, that we don't want to repeat a moment like that in the future. The key to breaking this cycle is called forgiveness. I've talked about that in other Dhamma talks, so I'm going to review that. At the time we were planting these seeds in the past, we did not have the Dhamma. We were not wise enough to be fully awake and aware through our mindfulness practice to not plant these painful, troubling seeds. So we forgive ourselves, we accept we made a mistake, and in the present moment, we're going to do all we can to not repeat the mistake. Then we can also, from that moment on, we can begin to forgive the so-called perpetrator of this past suffering. So the present moment is always the perfection of a karmic moment. There's a lot on the news now about instant karma. Whether it's instant or something planted in the distant past is not the point. The present moment is a karmic moment. Our question becomes, what do we want to do with this moment? Do we want to accept it? Do we want to reject it? Do we want to learn from it? Do we want to repeat the suffering that was our past by not learning from it, forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes and those who were involved in those mistakes? That is how we can begin to create truly beautiful, loving, forgiving, kind, compassionate moments in the present as well as in the future. Thank you for listening to the end today. We always invite you to leave comments, suggestions for how we can improve the channel, suggestions for topics you might like to hear talked about. I also encourage you, if you're interested, there's a free ebook called Kamathena. You can find that on this channel and our other channels. We have a number of options, all titled Madrone Mountain Meditation. Thank you very much. May you be blessed.